What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ORGS podcast. I am your host, Anthony Silva, and I am here today to bring you our very first interview, y'all. That's right. I'm super excited to bring you this interview. This person is so amazing. This person has so much personality, so much character, and brings so much to the org universe. I don't want to give away too much, but if you've seen it already, you already know who it is. It is Jersey Debbie, y'all. And she's got a lot to say. She's got a lot of experience in the very short time that she's been in the org universe. And she actually just came off of a nice LRG placing second place. So she's going to talk about all that stuff. She's going to give you some history, and we're just going to chop it up. So I hope you enjoy Jersey Debbie. Let's go! Welcome, everybody, to the ORGS podcast. Today, we have a very, very, very special guest. This person I met, obviously, through the Vanquish world. And she is a very unique character. She seems to be known and liked by a lot of people. And she goes by the name of Jersey Debbie. What's up, Debbie? How you doing? Welcome.
Hey, Anthony, how are you? Happy to be here.
Man, we've been.
At the house. I'm back in Jersey.
Yes, she's back. She's back, and she's back from her LRG where she just got second place. That's crazy. Again, we'll get deeper into it, but I was watching, keeping up with the updates, and every time the pictures popped up and you were in it, I was so hype.
Thank you.
So
I appreciated all your support and everyone else's support. It was awesome to see, and yeah, that's what I love about this community. But thank you.
yeah, you definitely had a lot of support. I noticed that in all the chats and just all the comments, lots of support. So obviously our support didn't get you the win though, but you
That's
definitely would
okay.
have.
It's the audience. The audience loves the villain.
Well,
Maybe
hey,
not so much the cast always, but we'll talk about that because
that's right.
you never know what you're gonna get with me.
Hey, but if there was an America's favorite player, you definitely would have got it for sure.
Thank you.
No, but yeah, welcome to the podcast. I'm just here to pick your brain, figure stuff out about you. A lot of people, want to share their stories. A lot of people rather just come on and play games and then just be in the background, and that's fine too. But I've noticed that you are definitely out there a lot. You communicate with a lot of people. You make a lot of good relationships. We built a good one as well, and so definitely wanted to talk to you, especially coming off of your LRG, because that's another thing too. I want to talk about LRGs, but first things first. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. And yes, I mean, a big part, my first priority in this game is to build relationships and friendships. So I'm Debbie, AKA Jersey Debbie, and obviously I'm from New Jersey, and we'll talk about where that came from. Yeah, so I'm a mom of two wild boys. I have an 11-year-old who is going into sixth grade soon. He's going to graduate elementary school soon, which is crazy. And I have a 5-year-old who's going into kindergarten next year. I'm married.
Nice.
Yeah, and so a little bit about myself. So I've always been like a busy mom. I've been that like PTO mom, and I'm still involved, and I love to be involved in my kids' lives. But this org and LRG world, once I got into it a year and a half ago, has become a big part of my life. And yeah, I mean, I have a great social life here. I love the added social connections as well. Another thing when you talk about like telling stories and stuff and connecting with people, something that I love to also inspire and relate with the audience on is I'm also a Lyme disease survivor. So sometimes, like, I don't really get into it in games, but a big part of me, like, when I win comps, and I'm proud of myself because there was a time where, like, I was suffering through that. So hopefully I can inspire some people with that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and I do advertising sales, digital ad sales. I work from home. So yeah, that's a little about me.
Awesome. Yeah, and I've noticed that a lot of people that play the games are people that work from home. and obviously that started a lot of that started around the pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, it's great to hear a little bit about your background. I know. I knew some of those things, but again, a lot of people don't, and I think hearing some of these things just helps you understand someone better as well. Because again, a lot of the times we're playing these games, and they might be like a one night thing, so you don't really get to know somebody on a deeper personal level, as to where maybe if you're playing a long game or even an LRG. I've never experienced one, so I got some questions on that. But yeah, so so how did you get into orgs? I know you said a year and a half ago. So what?
Yeah.
They've been around for 15 years, but what a year and a half ago, what happened?
Yeah, so I am also on the, I'm a mom. I'm a little on the older side too, right? I should have heard about orgs when I was sitting home during
Right.
COVID. But I've always been a super fan of Big Brother and Survivor, and a lot of us are hopefuls to be on the show, aka
Mm-hmm.
me also. So, I follow a lot of them on Instagram and Facebook, and about a year and a half ago. So I would say um, it was January of 2022. Yeah, because that was a year and a half ago. Kristen came to me. Kristen Parsons from Vanquish found me
Oh
on
my God.
or Facebook at one of the social media outlets, and came to me and was like, "Hey, I see you're a super fan. Do you want to play Survivor Vanquish? It's an online reality game." And at first I'm like, I work in the corporate world, so I'm like, what's an org? Like an organization for
Yep, that's exactly what I thought when somebody said that too. That's funny.
so
But it's crazy that it's Kristen. She literally got me as well. She got you. She knows what she's doing. I could say that. So
it all started with Vanquish. It's absolutely right. And thank you, Kristen, for introducing me to this crazy world. um, but yeah, no, so it started with Vanquish. It seems like longer, but I just kind of like got in, and I'm like kind of, like some people like get addicted and just, keep being really involved and passionate. And yeah, so I got involved with Vanquish. I played Survivor Vanquish. That was my first game. And then obviously, I've played other orgs. I played Second Chances. I played Big Brother Vanquish, etc. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And Vanquish is really, I mean, I've met so many friends throughout the community, but there's something about Vanquish which we both know, and about the people there. And yeah, that started it all for me.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yes. Again, can't speak Vanquish. I cannot speak any better about them. They're literally. I think when you start with them, there's an attachment, but it's also the way the game is played and the way they have it all set up and the way they just do everything is very on point. So sometimes when you go into other games and they're not as on point, you just kind of like use it as it's just something you look back on and you're like, man, I love Vanquish games. But that's funny. That's funny that we literally both came from there. And like I said, they definitely do their work going and finding people and bringing in new players, which, again, a lot of those new players are still playing the games I see because I'm friends with them and I follow them as well. And same thing with you. So, yeah, but again, it's all different within the org world. I know we were talking about like how you said you kind of like it became addicting a little bit, but in a good way
Right.
because it's like a hobby. Like some people start playing tennis, or some people start collecting things. Well, what we're doing is just playing these games that we already liked anyways. This was already kind of our hobby, watching these shows, but now we're just kind of playing them on a level where we can be involved. And so I
Right.
think that's how it becomes addicting because you start playing different formats, and then there's minis and there's long games and there's like these just different they just take games from different shows, and then a lot of people twist them up, so it's a lot of different variations out there where it doesn't get like boring.
I
So
watched you play Survivor Vanquish after I had already played Big Brother Vanquish season 1, because I saw you were on with like a few people from my season, and I was a big fan of yours. I remember I reached out to you after the game, and I was like, "You need to play again." And so, but like, so. I always, whenever I have time, I watch other Vanquish seasons. I join the VL, I join the fantasy because I support it. I support the charity, what it stands for, especially having kids. Like, we can relate. Um,
Yes.
and I watched Big Brother Vanquish. I watched season 2 and 3, and I have to say, your season and season 3, after I played one, I was like, this is better than TV. Watching some of these games are better than real, more
It
entertainment than real.
truly is. It truly is. And I know a lot of people who just watch these things, or they've played one game or two games and they're like, oh, it's not necessarily for me. I'd rather just watch. And so it does become like that because you do find characters you like. You do see people that you build or connections with just through the screen, just like how we're watching on TV, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Sometimes you play the character if it's like the hero or the villain or chaotic, etc. Yeah.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
a couple questions for you. So have you won any orgs yet?
No, Anthony, I have not won
Oh my
yet.
goodness. Well, we're in the same
I,
boat
I
because
know, I know. We both need our win. You know what? I've been final two 5 times now. I'm including minis. Um, it's okay. I know I can get to the end and listen. Like, I first and foremost, I do this game for friends. That's the priority. The second priority is winning, right? And
yeah.
you know, it's okay. I mean, look, you need time, especially doing it live. Like, I needed time to decompress after not winning, and even though my friend won and my final two in the game won, I was so happy for him. But you also are like, you need some time to decompress
Yes.
yourself.
Man, even just from orgs, not even from just LRGs, from orgs you need to decompress because again, like you said, I played Survivor Vanquish and then right after that I went straight into Big Brother Vanquish season 2
Yeah.
and I didn't take no break and I was on like I was like on a good high like from like I wanted to play again. So
Yeah.
I went into the second one. It was a different game. It was Big Brother. So and I just my emotions when I was done, like I just needed a break. Like everybody around it felt like my
Mhm.
son felt it, my family felt it. They're like, "Yo." And I'm like, I'm just decompressing. It's just
Yeah.
a lot. But
Yeah.
these games really take a toll on you. This is the thing about long games. They definitely will take a toll on you if you let them, but it's where you make the most connections. It's where you really get to play a true game. Um, I've made it. I've only made it to a final two once, and it was in a mini. But
Oh, really? I thought you've done more than once, no?
well, I've made it very far. I made Final Three a couple times, like in Big Brother games.
Okay.
As far as Survivor-ish games, I've only made it to the final tribal once.
Okay.
And but yeah, most long games that I've been in, I've made it to jury and made it deep
Yeah.
into the game, like 4, 5, and 6. So I definitely think longer games are like my style,
Mhm.
but minis are just so fun and there's you get to play all these different styles of games. But I will say a long term Big Brother game is definitely for me. That's what I would want to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting you say that because like I play both, but I tend to do better in Big Brother. Like, it's my jam. And
Yeah.
I think that now that I'm getting better at some comps, I don't know if I want to like say it out loud. Maybe I could do a little better in Survivor, but yeah, I mean, I think we both have big personalities, so I can see why, like Big Brother is your thing too. It's my thing too. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so and I like Survivor, and I like Traders, and I like all these other games as well. But I think what I was like, let's just say what I was watching full time before I played orgs was like the challenge in Big Brother. So when I first came into orgs, and the first games I saw are the games that are played the most are Survivor and Big Brother.
Right.
So that's what I tried to find and attach myself to. So
Sorry, I will say one
no.
thing about Vanquish that I wanted to shout out, like talking about Big Brother and thinking about it and watching these shows. So, one thing that Vanquish does amazing, and then I'll stop with my praises, but um, they get the real reality stars, but they're real people just like us. They're
Yep.
authentic, they're amazing. So, I don't think in your season you played with an actual reality star in Big Brother, but I know like in Survivor, Vanquish, they do it. And in my season, I will give my good friend Portia Briggs a shout out. I played with Portia, love her. Like we talk, text all the time now.
Yeah.
And she's become a friend of mine, like gives me advice for like the real show too. So that's also something that's really amazing. And like, like virtual
Yeah.
reality is where they go. So yeah, I mean, they like especially with Vanquish and some orgs, like they want to be involved too. So I think that's a really cool aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's definitely sweet. Like even okay, so I played Survivor Vanquish, and they brought on Gabler just at the beginning of the season, just to say what's up, wish us luck, and him and I had made a connection in that 5 minutes that he was on, and we because he has family here in Houston where I live, and he's out here all the time. We started talking, and now we keep up with each other literally on social media all the time. So it's definitely, I mean, it's really cool that they do bring on some of those reality stars that have played these games, and they've actually brought someone that play, and then they'll say, hey, this is like the same thing almost, except you just don't live in a house or you're not on an island with these people. Besides that, it's the same feelings and emotions that come out, and things that you have to do, like cross somebody, and it's you get those still true feelings inside of you. So it's crazy. It's a crazy world. And again, I think this is why all of this stuff is, some of us do get addicted, because like you said, we do want to play on the real shows. So some of these org players don't want to get on these shows, some of us do. And for the ones that do, like this is like almost like a smaller league of us practicing to do these things, you know. So I think this is why it becomes like what you, and I guess the word like addicting you can use, but that's what happens. Like it's you like it. It's a hobby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, listen, Anthony, I think that if people like you and I can hustle and do these minis and fast paced orgs like this, we can do the real show where it takes more time and you have time to think about it and you're not as stressed. So I
For
absolutely
sure.
agree. I mean, I will be the first to say I definitely want to be on the show. I've wanted to for a long time. And like something about my background too, when I was younger, I wanted to be an actress. I always wanted to, and then I've always wanted to be on reality TV. So, before I had kids too. So yeah, I agree. There are some people that just don't care and like, but they play for fun and that's cool. And like, you can do it from your home because you don't have to travel. But then there's also people that are like, maybe one day this is all practice for the real thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. How did what show got you addicted, or when did you start watching reality TV, or
I mean, I've been
what?
watching for so long Big Brother, Survivor. I think both of them. I mean, I watched The Challenge, Traitors Mole, like the others too, but yeah, I think it was Big Brother and then Survivor that I've been watching probably from almost the beginning.
So you're a
Yeah.
CBS girl.
CBS, yes, I'm a CBS. Yeah.
I'm definitely MTV. Real World and Road Rules is where I started for sure. Um, and then obviously I went into the challenge. But then once Survivor and Big Brother started becoming big, my parents started watching it, and they would tell me for a long time, "You should watch it. You should watch it. You should be on it, and or you should try out." And I just never did, because I was so addicted to the challenge and wasn't even paying attention to CBS. But yeah, it's definitely all the games. Even growing up, I was watching games, like game shows like Family Feud and Price is Right, like with my mom and stuff. So I was always had a gamer in me, you know. Okay, let's talk about your LRG real quick. So I know you've played one before this one, right? Have you played any more? I've recently seen you play two, but have you played any more before that?
We shall see. No, I've
Okay,
played.
okay. I
um,
forget sometimes it's delayed a little.
Yeah. No, so I've played two before this. Yeah. You've seen me play two, like some of them, air live. And yeah. So I played. So before this, I played competitive events twice. And competitive events is a local one to New Jersey. It is a 1 day game. Shout out to Johnny Stockton who runs it. It's amazing, but it I mean, I think it attracts a lot of local people. You get there at like 8 a.m. You can be done at midnight if it's a whole day and you're on jury or final tribal council. So yeah, I played competitive events for the first time. I played an LRG last August. Um, and then I played again with I played the Blood versus Water with my husband, and who was like, I'm not doing this, and he loved it. He's like, he won't play an org, but he's like, I'll play live again. Like I want to apply for All Stars. Um, yeah, I played competitive events twice because you just saw me recently play again, that one in April, and then I played the Big Brother Chicago. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. And how was that, Big Brother Chicago? I mean, I know you made it all the way to the end, but I got a question for you. For someone now like who's played a Big Brother game like that, does it's all in one day or 2 days, right?
So yeah, so Big Brother Chicago, so they're all different. Like some of them are because there were actually a few LRGs this past weekend that I heard about at the same time as ours. Like some are shorter, some are, a week, some are weekends. This game started Friday night and the finale was Monday night.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah, so I mean it is fast, very fast paced, but
No, I'm sorry. 3 days is not. That's pretty good. What I was gonna get to is like, because you said earlier, one starts at like 8 in the morning and it could end by midnight. That's almost like playing a mini. So
yeah.
it's like playing an LRG, but it's like mini style because you really got to run through stuff, especially if you don't know anybody. You really have to learn them quick. As to where 3 days, like I can give me a day and a half around somebody, and I can have a good, I can feel their vibe. I can understand, some of their just the way they are, kind of like through their body language and stuff like that. So 3 days is good, and I think that's a good amount of time right there.
Yeah, so 3 days yeah, the first HOH and the first vote out was Saturday morning. So Friday night was more just like getting to know everyone, but like we did start with like everyone meeting and stuff then. So yeah, and the one that was one day was a survivor one outside. So yeah, some of them you sleep at a house at an Airbnb. Even though it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday night because we left Tuesday morning. So even though it was 4 nights, it was still definitely fast paced. But there's something about meeting people in person and making those friendships. And, it's interesting because I loved the game. Shout out to Big Brother Chicago, Darian, Christopher, who runs the game, my good friend Darian, who I've actually played a duos org with.
Nice.
We did pretty well there, but definitely recommend Big Brother Chicago season 2. And that is a game where the winner, can win money too. Um, so yeah, it was fun, and I don't know if people play differently when there's money on the table versus not. Um, but
Well, that's funny because I had a question for you about that. I was actually gonna say, especially with orgs, like there's some that are for money. Obviously, not a lot right now, but if there were some for bigger prizes or just any prize in general, would you be up to play those?
oh hell yeah, I want to win the money, and I think like You know, I so okay, so going in like you saw me probably in my last LRG, the one that you probably watched that I played. Like I never get out early like that. I was out so early in competitive events and my husband went all the way. So I came in and I'm like, that's it. I'm not getting out early. Like I'm playing hard, like guns blazing. So
Yeah.
I did play hard and I might have, made some people mad and it's not and no one's perfect. Like I definitely had some regrets about that, but I came in and I'm like, I'm playing hard and I'm playing to win. Like, and when there's and and I don't do it for the money, but of course I think it's not a big deal either way. It's not, it's a nice little
No,
thing.
that was like what, like 1,200 or something. That's what I
Yeah.
saw. Did I see that right?
Yes, yes, yeah. So
Hey,
yeah,
I would be a little.
yeah.
I mean, so you experienced. Let's just say you experienced a bitter jury, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
mean, that's tough. That's tough. I would be a little upset for sure.
Yeah, I think like, you know, I don't have, there's people that come in that's their first LRG they've played. There's people that have come in that have been doing this for years, like 5 years, 10, however. So there's definitely people that were more experienced than me in LRGs. And, I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong, and I'll own my mistakes because, I do this, again, I want to make friends, So, I did not have good jury management. I own that. I should have, I think part of it is, so, okay, coming into that, I was like, you've seen me. I've not the best. I don't usually have the best performances when it comes to comps, right? So people were like, "Oh, you downplayed, like you were underestimating, like yourself, like saying you're not good at comps." I truly like. I'm confident in myself, but I truly did not know or expect to win comps, right? So I come in and I win the first HOH, which was the social one, which, I persuaded them that I wanted that one. I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'll take it. And I go on, of course, I put people in the block. They're going to put me back up. And I'm like, I need to win this veto. And it was a puzzle. And Anthony, you remember from the Squid Games mini, from Michael O'Rear's mini, that I got out with that puzzle.
I remember.
Yes, and I got like the popular vote from the green light, and then I get out with the puzzle. I would have made it way farther. So I'm like thinking I've got to dig deep, like prove to myself that I could do the freaking puzzle. And I pulled out. I between that, a lot of my org friends know how horrible I am at puzzles.
What style puzzle was it?
I gotta ask Darian.
Was it a tanagram?
It was, I don't even know. It was, I don't even know what it's called, because the other one, later we had a puzzle and I sucked. But it was, it was fitting in pieces like circles and triangles and different pieces
Okay, it's like a tanagram. Yeah.
into a circle. And I
Yes.
pulled out that veto, and I was like, if I could do one thing in this game, I completed a puzzle.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did the puzzle, and then I won a memory comp, and I won endurance comps, and I won 5 comps, which was comp beast of the season.
Dang.
So my point is, I was proud of myself that usually all my other final twos, I've had strong guys take me. Nobody had to take me this time. Even though I lost, I took myself. Like, I won both parts of the final HOH. So I proved to myself that I can do comps, because there was a point in my life, like, and I don't mean to get into it so much, but like I said, I'm a Lyme disease survivor, and there was a point in my life where, like, I had to take a lot of medication, and I couldn't go to the gym, and like for me to be able to do this and like be stronger than I was before, like, hopefully I can inspire other people that have, didn't believe in themselves as well. But yeah, so where was I going with that? My point is that I proved to myself that I could do comps.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw a couple questions at you. If you don't feel comfortable answering them, you don't have to. But I just gonna ask you them. All right. Have you had a bad experience in an org? Like, is there one org you would not recommend to somebody?
Okay, I knew you were gonna ask this. So I feel like every org I've done, I've come out with making at least 1 or 2 friends, right? So there's a positive to every org I've done. I feel like I've made, even if I had, a toxic type of experience with certain people, there were people that I was, friends with at the end. So I wouldn't say there's an org I don't recommend. I think it's just how to manage if you come across people that you think are being toxic towards you, and just kind of learning not to, like, I'm someone that I'm mama bear. I'll stick up for myself. I'll stick up for other people. And I've learned sometimes just not engage, let the people go off, and just kind of let them do their thing. So I think it's all about managing that, and managing relationships, and what you put into it, how much time you put into it. Because in the beginning, like, I was putting so much time into, some of these orgs. So yeah, I don't think it's that I wouldn't recommend one or the other. I think it's just, don't take things so personal. If people, because not everyone is going to be as genuine, and there's obviously ones I recommend more than others.
Yeah, is there any that you recommend right now besides? I mean, obviously besides Vanquish, is Is there any ones that you like to play?
Yeah, so I didn't do a long game of this. I did a mini, but it was so much fun, and I know like a lot of Vanquish mix, and they're for charity, and people Prod does is on that as well. Shane's on that. Expedition Online.
Okay, I've heard.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do the long season. They also have like real survivors on it. Um, and so I did their mini. That was fun. I recommend Twisted Sister. That's more of like a texting org, but that was fun. I love O'Rear's minis. I love Nathan's minis, Crazy Minis. What's O'Rear's called? Reality Miniverse.
Yeah, reality miniverse. Yep.
Um, and there's so many. I'm trying to think of like because I've definitely done other long ones.
Well, that's cool that you said Expedition because I definitely wanted to try that one out at some point. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Twisted Sister as well.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
I played a. I didn't play the long game. I played the President mini. That was fun too. Oh, and Triumph. I recommend Triumph. I loved Triumph. So I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but played with a friend, became a better friend from that. Well, saw them and and made some really good friends. Made one fantastic friend from that. He knows who he is. He's supported me, and yeah. So Triumph is I just loved some of the people I met there. Yeah.
Nice Triumph. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. So I think they got a season coming up too as well. So I'm not gonna say any more on that, but you never know who you'll see on there. Anyways, you might not want to answer this question then, but is there anybody that you wouldn't play with specifically?
Um, you
Don't
know,
say me.
I'll always play with you, Anthony. You know that.
Yeah,
I
for
always get
sure.
excited when I see you in a game. There's definitely a few people that I've had like misunderstandings with, and we talked it out, and we're good now. So
Well, that's good.
there was one person that when you talk about someone's, I think kids and family and all that is off limits. So I'm someone where I like to work it out after a game. So I feel like not everyone's going to be friends with everyone, but I don't think there's anyone specifically that I respect them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So I got two last questions before I let you go. So one is, how did you get your name, Jersey Debbie?
yeah, so I got the name, I think basically after I played Survivor Vanquish season 7. I remember like Melissa and Kristen were on like Jake's podcast talking about people that were in the running for second chances, and when they mentioned my name, I remember Melissa's like, yeah, like she's the Jersey girl, and then that it didn't originate then, but they were just my accent and my personality is very Jersey. And when I got introduced to second chances, Kristen said, Jersey girl Debbie, there's Jersey Debbie. And I just said, you know what? Call me Jersey Debbie. And that's how it originated.
All right, and this last one is not even a question for you; it's a question for me. You can go ahead and ask me. I'll give you one question. You can ask me anything you want to. Anything. It doesn't have to be related to orgs. It can be related to orgs. It could be about a game. It could be whatever. This is just a chance for you to ask me something maybe that you've wanted to ask me.
Am I going to be seeing you on any LRGs anytime soon?
That's a good question. LRGs. So I actually, I've got two in the works.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yes, that I've been communicating with, and one of them for sure is gonna happen. And I can't say anything about it. I can't say when or anything like that. But I will say that it is in this year. It's in 2024. And then the second one that I'm planning on doing is in very early 2025. But they're getting it all set up right now. So, yes, LRGs are definitely in my future, for sure. As well as I do have two long games coming up, not crossing over each other. But I kind of wanted to plan, now that I've been into orgs more. And a lot of people promote way ahead of time, which is, I think that's a great thing, because it does give you time to plan out what you want to do and which ones you want to play. So I do have 2 long games that I'm going to do coming up, one Survivor, one Big Brother. And then I'm supposed to be doing an all-star season with Mystical Minis at some point later in the year. Yeah, if you made I think they're doing 4 seasons. They just finished their third, but if you made it to the final 3, they bring back all the final 3 to do an all-star season. So I made final 3 on that one.
Amazing. I'd love to do an all-star season 2. Maybe one's coming up in the
Hey, Mystical Mini season 4 is probably coming up soon. I'll definitely send you that link. I'll
well,
definitely
I'm
send you that
saying
link.
maybe I don't know, maybe
Oh, hey, hold on. Hold on. I heard something's going to be happening in Vanquish soon. That's all I got to say.
Ooh.
And I better get that DM.
Yeah, me too.
That's all I got to say. Kristen, if you're out there listening, I better get the DM. But anyways, no. Oh, yeah. And then also, I'm not sure who or if you are, but I'll definitely be in Florida in December.
Oh
So
yes. Yes, we talked about this. I definitely plan on going to Hearts of Reality. I didn't bring it up, but loved it. Had so much fun there. Met some of my dearest org friends there who, again, a lot of them are vanquished, but not all. And yes, I plan on going back. Excited to meet you there and a bunch of people. And I don't think the tickets went on sale yet for December.
no, not yet, not yet. But as soon as they do, I will not post it because I'm gonna make sure I get mine first, and then after I make sure I got mine, then I'll post it in Org Center, which is the group page. So everybody who wants to go, I suggest you go because I'll definitely be there. Davey's gonna be there, and I'm sure. And I saw the lineup of people they have. Reality stars are gonna be having there. It's already stacked. I know by that time some of them might drop out or they might get some new ones in. But regardless, honestly, if there was 2 reality stars and just a bunch of like org players, I would still have a great time. So I'm it's like 80% of the reason I'm going is to meet other org players, and that's so funny. But
That's 100% true. Just to cap it off, you know, it's a bonus meeting the reality stars, but that's not why I go. I go to meet the friends I've met in orgs, and some of them have genuinely become such good friends in my lives that, like, even though we've only maybe met once or twice, or I don't see them that much, and they're not on this East Coast with me, like, there are people I talk to like basically almost every single day. They know who they are, and I talk to them about personal life too. So yeah, you know.
yeah, for sure. You definitely meet a lot of people that become your really good friends. Some of them, they're in and out as friends, but they're always there. And then there's just a lot of players that you may not meet personally, but you just like watching them play. You like their character, so you follow them and things like that. So, it's a lot of different situations here in the org world, but definitely glad that we met. And yes, Florida's gonna be great. And one thing too. Well, obviously the main reason we go is for the charity purpose of it, but the exciting, the thrill of meeting these reality stars, I'm also getting that by hoping to meet as many org players as possible too. So it's just a great feeling, and it's going to be a fun weekend. So, but yes, definitely glad that you came on. I'm happy that you came on. Thank you so much. And again, this will not be the last time. This is just the first time to get your story out. I'm sure there's gonna be lots of things coming up where we can talk more. And there's gonna be some other segments that I have where we'll talk. They'll be shorter and maybe about a specific game or a specific player, like a situation or something like that, compared to these interviews where I'm gonna be, kind of just getting everybody's story.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, Anthony. Yeah, like I said, it's I've been doing this for a year and a half, but my motto is kind of can't stop, won't stop, right? So this won't be the last you see of me. But no, thank you so much for having me, and yeah, I love watching. I love listening to your podcasts and the people you have on. So what you're doing is great.
All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lots more to come. Lots more to come. So, all right, everybody, we'll talk to you soon, and we'll have our next guest coming on. Talk to y'all later. Peace.